Hey, what's up? Let's see if I can work this thing properly from here. Ooh, that didn't look good. Okay. How are y'all doing? Why is this camera good? Is it fuzzy? I don't really care. Um, hey, what's up? Do you recognize me? I'm Randy. It's been a while. Actually, I'm Blake, not Randy. Um, but yeah, just wanted to make a video. There's Nibbler over here behind me. Love Nibbler. Nibbler's awesome. Um, it's been a while. It's been maybe 2 months since I made one of these. But yeah, figured it was about time. It's past due. Um so first of all, got a new tattoo. Wooly. I don't know if you know him, he's a RuneScape I was gonna say streamer. I guess he's streamed, but he's a content creator. I had him design me this over Discord, like live, kind of while I like, told him what to do exactly, because he's the artist, so I'm just the guy with the ideas. Like always. But beautiful dragon, Merkaba with a sword. Just like a symbol of like strength and endurance. I really don't know. I liked the design. I wanted a dragon. I've always wanted a dragon tattoo since I was like 20 years old. So it's been a while, but we got it done finally. Um, but yeah, I have hair now too. Crazy turn of events that has happened in my last couple of months before the last, or sorry, since the last video, before the last video. Can't even think properly. Once again, getting into the swing of things here. Still got Diet Coke. Still have an old play button that I've had for 5 years. I need a gold one really, and I think that's what's bothering me lately. I feel like I'm washed up, I need new ideas. I need new go-tos on my main channel. And I really don't know what that is. I keep thinking I want to do something, and then turns out I don't like doing it. Started playing Dragon Wild recently. Wanted to try a series on there. I think I have the imposter syndrome or something, it's like this is gonna be terrible. So I just gave up on that after maybe 6 hours of gameplay. And I was recording it, of course, but it's like I was gonna do like a hardcore restart every time kind of video series on that. I just don't know if I was having that much fun with the game. Honestly, I'd rather just play like Valheim if I was gonna play something like that, as I was figuring out, kind of like Valheim more. But yeah, just decided I would do something because um, it's been a while. The last 2 months has been very eye-opening for me, very hectic. Um, for one, I've moved into a new place. As you can tell, I don't know if you can tell, it literally looks the same except for stuff's a little bit rearranged in here. But yeah, I moved into a new place. That was a hell of a story. Um, so I paid to close on my old place. Um, and took a long time to go through that process, but I paid for them to extend the close because I thought this place was going to be ready to move into, but it wasn't. Got delayed, got delayed, got delayed. Ended up, all my stuff was sitting in pod storage unexpectedly for like over a month. That cost me another month of pod storage. Paid, like I said, I paid to extend the close date on my old place because I thought I'd be ready for this place, but no. Um, yeah. So I was living on an air mattress in a closet-sized room for about a month. in my mom's duplex, which wasn't bad. I actually, there are parts of that I actually miss, I feel like. But one is the company. I thought moving though would help a lot with, my mental state, and I think, I've been really busy with that. Um, I moved here maybe 8 or 9 days ago, and I just unpacked, set everything up, wired this room, for instance, set up all my hardware everywhere, curtains, all of that, all the gas, electric, switch in my name, all that great stuff, and I was very distracted for about a week because I was doing this like 10 plus hours a day, setting everything up because I swear I'm like OCD or something, like I have to have stuff done. But as it turns out, the distraction ended and I'm like, shit. The same void is there. Moving really didn't help. I'm closer to family and friends, but I'm still alone in this fucking house, right? Could be worse, could be homeless. There's always, things that you could say could be worse. Like, you have your health. Speaking of which, I went to a doctor's appointment recently, and I did check everything out, and everything was good. I do have to get an MRI on my brain, but I don't think anything's wrong with it. It's an old MRI request I never went to like 4 years ago because I was freaking out about it. Anyways, I feel like I'd be dead by now if it was something serious or worse. But anyways, yeah, I think we're good. Blood tests were good. Everything else was good. So I do have my health. There's always that to be thankful for. Um, could be a lot worse, but yeah, I've been through a hell of a ringer the last 2 months. Haven't been able to put out content. Some of it was pre-edited that I had thrown together before I even moved temporarily and then permanently. Like the last video that was now almost a month ago, I actually made almost 2 months ago because I had to start packing and moving and all of that. And yeah, it's been a hell of a journey. I have a problem taking things a day at a time. Everything for me with anxiety, of course, is always like thinking 15 steps ahead. So it's like constantly I'm thinking about getting moved. Am I even going to make it? Am I going to live till the day that I see myself unpacked here in this room talking to the camera again for one? Yes, I did, which was good. But yeah. So now moving on to the next stage of life. Um and that's what has been eating at me sort of. And the past still as well. The past and the future, not the present, not living in the present. But yeah, I got all this stuff unpacked, got it all done, and then that nauseous feeling of like I think hopelessness washed over me again, and it was like, what am I doing now? I don't know. I still don't know what I'm doing. Um, and what did I do? I went and slept for 28 of the last like 40 hours, maybe more. It's been bad. Well, I did get on Dragon Wilds for about 6 hours on and off the last 2 days. That was the time I wasn't sleeping, and I was like, I don't know about this. Once again, I feel like this isn't good enough content. I have this weird set standard of what I should put out. I've thrown together whole videos in the past and actually scrapped them entirely. So, yeah, it's not been a great habit of mine, but that is a big problem I've been facing my whole life. It's just like that perfection mindset, all of that. So, yeah, trying to overcome that one day at a time. I don't think I'm going to put the Dragon Wilds video together. I just don't enjoy it. Just doesn't, and I don't want to get, maybe I can learn to enjoy it, but I don't want to get hooked into something and it be successful and not enjoy it again. I did that with one of my video series, and it was paying a lot. It was making a lot of views. If y'all watch my other channel, it was called Iron Man from Hell. I hated it though. It was like make believe man mode. I hated it. It was doing so good though because it was like that unique snowflake chunk lock build stuff going on, and just though it wasn't hitting my creative fulfillment, I think is the problem. So there's been that. Been going through relationship stuff. All of that great all that great stuff. And I realized I've like kind of had a, how do I put this, dependency on being in like a nice relationship to work on anything else, like my work and all of that. um I was in a, what I thought at the time was a very uh very healthy relationship, very amazing. And that went on for about 2 months. And that's when I pumped out all that content. I got all these videos on this channel done. I got like 4 videos in the span of like 30 days done on my main channel too. It was great. And even though I was like spending countless hours with this woman, um I was still managing to work even more, which is weird, I know. But it was like, I think the problem is I live through other people. So if I have someone to um impress or to hopefully better their future with, then I try to, how do I try to make my future better, to make their future better. It's bad. It's like I put other people way too much in front of myself, to an extent as to where I have to find that particular person I care about that much, and then once I finally have it, then I start doing work. And it was kind of like that as well. I believe in my what was eventually my marriage. So 2019, early 2019, I got into that relationship, which was my future ex-wife. And I really put my foot down and went like nose to the grindstone. And 2019, if you don't know, was the year I started doing, which way is that, YouTube, from pretty much scratch. Literally like the day I got in that relationship, and I pushed and I pushed and I pushed, and I was doing really good. But I was still having the time to spend with that person too. It's like I was definitely codependent, but not in the sense of like depending on them, like physically or emotionally. It's like I had something to work for besides myself, you know. And it's a terrible mindset to have, but I've realized I can't, it's harder to get out of it than it sounds, because that 2 month shindig, you know, that was going on, that ended as well. And that was like really bad. This sounds really bad, but I had more struggle getting out of that and getting past that, and I still am, than my fucking marriage of almost 2 years, and that relationship of almost 5 years. Because I really thought like I found something. And to me, the cornerstone of life and the goal of life is to find love, and love in turn creates happiness, and the happiness then allows me to maybe then be more career driven, be more goal driven with my endeavors. I always put that second. But I've just been on this what seems like hopeless journey, trying to find a woman, right, who I can be in a secure, nice relationship with. And the fact that I felt that for the first time in a long time gave me a lot of hope and a lot of drive for other parts of my life. And yeah, it was good for a while. But then when it burns out, it really burns out. And here we are, 2 months with the move. It all ended the same time I kind of moved, which I moved closer to said person, which makes almost no sense. Person went from like wanting to see me all the time to I moved physically closer on a map, and then they're just like gone. Bam, flip switch, 180. It all hit me at the same time, so kind of sucked. But life goes on. The question is though, will I, I probably will get that back again, but it could be another year journey of trying to find it again before I can be stable. And then it's like, when's the crash gonna come again? I'm now 31 years old, so I feel like time is running out. Love to me is precious. Time And I think I have a weird mindset and outlook on the world that puts that together in that order for me. As well as probably low self-esteem, low self-worth, because that's why I'm prioritizing other people above myself. See, like, it's one thing to be self-aware and know the problem, but it's another thing to like actually be able to fix it. Because I'll get on and do some work, but I'll just start getting this gut-wrenching feeling of like, what's the fucking point, right? I think that's kind of why I decided to once again try and record one of these. It's only been, a couple days since I had everything set up, but I could have done it earlier. I could have done something on my phone. I could have mapped out all kinds of things. I could have, when I was sitting in a month on an air mattress, I did hardly anything because I was just sulking and self-pity and terrible feelings. So, yeah, it sucked, but I couldn't get out of it. It's a lot like harder than what I thought it would be. So, here we are, trying to learn to live for ourselves, not for the other person. So yeah, an attempt to make myself happy as well, and because of the stuff I've overcome recently, fuck it, I got a tattoo. Switch some things up, and it's a new chapter in my life, new beginning. But it still feels old. That's the problem I'm coming back to. Still doesn't feel right. But I have a roof over my head. I went to the doctor for the first time in 3 years. My health checks out. I'm good. But yeah. In my attempt as well to fill the void, fill the gap, I swear I have like it's like, people have like porn addictions and like addictions to all kinds of weird things. I think mine is like an addiction to finding a soulmate or like dating monogamously. It's weird. I don't know. I hop right back on those fucking filthy apps and I'm like trying to find my person instantly in my free time all the time, swiping, talking to people. It does get me more sociable. Like it does allow me to learn how to talk to people more, but it's like 9 out of 10 times, 9.9 out of 10 times, all those conversations end in nothingness, end in a dead end. And it's very exhausting. Over the last year, I've probably been, I'm gonna say, on dates with like about 20 different women. And to even get to the point of dating, like seeing them one time versus the talking stage, if we're talking talking stage, probably 100. And it's been bad. But most of the time, it's like, we just don't mesh. And it's like, I can't continue seeing myself with a person. Sometimes I get very addicted to the person. I think it's partly like an anxious attachment style thing. And I give them almost too much of myself if I do find that connection. And they maybe start to think it's too good and like run away. It's like an avoidant thing. Like, you don't know how many times I've had people tell me, they're like, it's the dumbest thing ever to say to someone, but like, you're too good for me, and I don't, like, you're at a better stage in life than I am, and I'm like not even at a good stage in life. Like, it's stupid. And it could just be an excuse for something else, but I fucking hear that shit a lot, and it's very discouraging. But yeah, and it feels bad as well whenever like I think that I might feel something for someone and then realize it's not real. It's more like a lustful thing. And then I kind of have to start pulling back, and I don't like doing that because it's like, how do I say that? I hate disappointing people. So I don't want to tell someone like I'm not into them anymore. That's another problem. Once again, I'm like it sounds generic and stupid, but I'm definitely a people pleaser. So yeah, just been dealing with relationship stuff, moving, discouragement, But, you know, we're still here after I'm back for now. And then been dealing with what the hell am I doing with my life? Because I don't know what I want to do long term still. And my valuable thing of time that I was talking about is running out. By the way, if you saw my last video, I couldn't even like handle these. I've started using these actually beneficially, like until I picked this up again. I went 2 months without vaping, and then I got invited out to a bar with a friend, and it was like, I don't drink, so I'm just sitting there. I was like, I'm gonna buy a cheap disposable vape. And so now we have this again. After 2 months of nothingness, we're back on the vape, and we're doing the Zen on pouches now too. So nicotine still there. This is a Budweiser Zero, by the way. I don't even know why. I was so bored and trying to get out of my head that I went and picked up fake beer. So if that's telling you anything about where my mental state is right now, that's what we're doing. But yeah, stopped vaping for 2 months till like 2 days ago. I am near friends a lot more now, but it doesn't feel the same to me. Same with family, it doesn't feel the same to me. I don't know why. As like a romantic interest or relationship for company, it does fill in some of the void a little bit, but it's just not the same. It's not something to live for or by. At least in my weird playbook, in my mindset. So slowly realizing my internal issues. The problem though is to overcome them, which may be hopeless, may not be. But yeah, that's where I've been at and trying to figure out my future. My videos on my main channel, I think because I was putting them out so quickly, honestly, because I was in a relationship I enjoyed and I started being productive again. They were kind of tanking in views because I was just like throwing out so many of them, for any which reason. But yeah, so now I've got to focus on getting my view count back up, and that's why I was like, well, it's a perfect time for transition into something new. If my view count's already down, what do you have to lose, you know? So I was like, Dragon Wilds, started playing that. Nah, feels like shit, you know? Don't really want to do that maybe. And then I'm thinking, well, what do I want to do? I don't know. So I feel stuck. At least I attempted it. You know, even though it was only 6 hours, I attempted playing Dragon Wilds. So that was good. But yeah, now we got to go attempt something else. I do have a lot of plans for like videos on my main channel. I did do some things while I was laying on an air mattress for a month. I made a bunch of notes and video ideas, but it's all stuff that'll probably just get about the same amount of views. It's stuff that I wouldn't really mind doing. I wouldn't enjoy it. I wouldn't hate it. And then there's some things, you know, I'd probably hate that would get tons of views, like another snowflake idea. But just don't know if I can be asked to do that. I've always struggled with the balance between making money and making what I want to make. A lot of people want to watch slop. Example, Mr. Beast, the most viewed YouTuber on the platform. Like, come on. Like, that guy makes actual brain slop. He's shouting at the microphone, switching between just outrageous things of him destroying things, spending money every 2 minutes. So it's like short attention span, yelling. Thumbnails are AI generated, terrible. But that gets views. It's like you have to find like a median though, and in kind of a creative industry like this, to where you could get views and money but still do what you want to do. And I've been too far into the doing what I want to do part for a long time, and my wallet's kind of hurt because of it. But also it has made me comfortable and stagnant, and not really had any room for growth. In fact, decline over the years. So I want to try and figure something out that I enjoy doing that will get views, that will, bring me, some form of happiness doing in terms of just being able to create something I enjoy, but as well happiness long term, maybe in some more financial ventures. If I had more money, I could do more crazy ideas, artistically speaking, and I could live better. I could have a savings account, a retirement plan, all that stuff. But yeah, I've just really struggled in finding that balance and in figuring out what I want to do. Um, Obviously, it could be worse. I could be working as a fucking waiter, but sometimes I feel like sometimes that's better. Like if I was working construction or something, you kind of get used to that, or manual labor, and you're working with your hands. And when I'm working with my hands, actually, it's not bad. You're still collecting a paycheck, and it allows me to shut off my mind usually if the task is, you know, difficult enough or not semi difficult, and the time passes by and you collect a paycheck. But then again, it comes back to the time's valuable. There goes the time mindset. And I'd probably get home at night and be like, well, fuck, what did I do today? Lay bricks? Like, what is that doing for my future? So, and the other question is, who knows if there is a future? Bad thing to think about, but it's constantly on my mind. It's probably why I don't never put money in retirement. I don't even think I expected to be here at 31. But yeah, it's been an interesting journey. You never stop figuring out about yourself. Yeah, I guess. I mean, maybe when you're like 80 and can't quite think properly, hopefully you know who you are by then, because your mind's slipping and you're not gonna know. But yeah, relationships. So back on dating apps, back experimenting, figuring out what the fuck I want to do. I was thinking about, honestly, putting the gold suit back on now that I can actually fit into it. I've lost a shit ton of weight, by the way. I'm actually almost underweight. I weigh 140 pounds now, which is like pretty much what I was at the beginning of college, end of high school. Sorry, Bozo snoring. Which also, it's not a bad thing. My blood pressure is back down to normal. I didn't lose weight in the healthiest terms. I wasn't like exercising, but I just didn't eat as much as I used to. But yeah, I don't know. We're figuring out life slowly. Definitely looking towards the future almost too much. Trying to figure out, I want a wife, I want kids, I want a job that I'm proud of, that can leave some kind of legacy behind. That's stable, somewhat stable. Doesn't have to be that stable, but yeah, been dealing with that. Been dealing with having to let people down again. Been having to start from scratch again. Probably another year grind of finding something meaningful, and maybe it'll last 2 months again. Maybe it'll last 5 years again, and I'll get a nice 5 solid years of content put out because of that. It's so stupid, but yeah, I don't know. Just hate starting over. I've been finding myself doing that more and more recently with the view count, relationships, what I want to do. Because what if I want to do is something completely not even parallel to what I've been doing, Then it's going to be a total start over. I mean, if it's something parallel, like if I was to get into like social media marketing or something, which sounds terrible, by the way, I have some experience in that, obviously, firsthand experience. But I don't know. I don't think it's going to really be fulfilling. So I have to find something that's maybe parallel somewhat to what I do now, that's also fulfilling, that also makes money. Um, I feel like RuneScape is kind of a dying game. Or it's not dying, it's just stagnant, you know. I can't do that for the rest of my life. I was thinking about developing a product or service, marketing it to my already 25 to 35-year-old male audience. I've had a lot of ideas. Maybe even crowdfunding something like development of a retro MMO. Um, you know, with a whole team of developers. Got a whole business plan. That's something I did on an air mattress on my phone on a Google Doc sheet. Set up a business plan for like a game studio and through crowdfunding and what I wanted this MMO to entail, just very basic terms, obviously, because you know it's like not even stage 1 of something like that. Just in my mind, just trying to get it out on a piece of paper or in this time a phone. But things are moving. We're unpacked. Now we just got to figure out what's next. Everything started over. I'm in a different house even. And like I said, starting over is sometimes good, like in that aspect. Other places not so good. But that's where I'm at. And in the meantime, I'll just make some content I probably hate to get money to live off of and try and think of something new, refreshing. I'm thinking, honestly, I was debating on, yeah, like I said, putting the gold suit back on. Can't see it. I thought it was maybe in the shot. It's up there. That's literally taped because the frame got bent in my move, so I taped it to the wall. Hopefully it'll re-bend back over time, and then I'll take all that tape off. But lost a TV in the move too. Had a lot of expenses that I was not expecting. Like I said, the extra pod rental month, the extended closing proposal, just a new refrigerator, a lot of stuff. So I'm almost a broke bitch now, and yeah, but we're still kicking it. Still have a roof once again over our heads. So fortunate but confused. But I don't know. I think I just have the fear that I would hate going out and being a comedic relief again, like in that gold suit era. And so I would get back into it and hate it again. But maybe I've developed as a person to where I've overcame a lot of the social anxiety that came along with that. To where I can deal with it and deal with the physical symptoms of said anxiety better. So maybe I wouldn't mind it as much. Also, I loved the end product of those videos. I always think back on like the Buffalo Wild Wings video and all that. I loved creating the idea and looking at the final product. It was so good. It was just being out there in public, being the whack job was the hard part for me. Being the actor once again. But yeah, I've had a hell of a lot of stories in the last year with dating, crazy ones, some good ones that later turned crazy. And I feel like at this point I could write a book on this because some of the shit I experienced you wouldn't even believe. I don't know if you've seen like Baby Reindeer, had some cases of that, some other things similar, weird things from women that you don't usually expect, but interesting lore to add to my life and progression. Makes for some interesting stories to one day, you know, probably not tell my kids or grandkids, but maybe some random dude at a bar, even though I don't drink, you know. But yeah, just been trying to figure out what the hell is going on. Per usual, life story. But I was thinking about going to like do another like a follow up on the meditating for aliens video on the main channel, maybe follow up on the Bigfoot video, stuff like that. Something that some of my audience can relate to because they've seen it before on that channel. But yeah, I don't know, I'll see. I definitely want to write out like a video storyboard and the plans for all of that, but I don't know if I'll actually do it. I like creating mentally, theoretically. Same with the stuff I do in game. I love thinking about ways to do things, but when it comes to actually executing them, and like, especially if it's very hard for me to pull off physically, that's the part I hate. I just like being I love being a theoretical physicist. I love theory. I love creating in terms of writing. So maybe I should just write a book and promote it. Even though book sales make shit all money, I think I would probably be homeless. I'd probably be homeless, but I could try it. But yeah, do have some video ideas. Once again, these videos are probably gonna get, besides maybe one or two, would probably get like 50K views on my main channel. Almost not even worth it. And don't sound that fun. If they sounded entertaining, I wouldn't care about the views. But I don't know. Getting kind of tired of the same old, you know. So that, and getting tired of trying to find someone to fill in the void. And I've tried to stop myself many times. It's just a weird habit I have of still needing to do that. So that's a lot to get off my chest. Figured I'd do it. Once again, these videos are for kind of just self-reflection purposes. Obviously they're on my second channel here. And yeah, new setup. Thought I would give a little bit of updates on everything. But that is life so far. And I think I'm going to end this one now. I doubt it's been 40 minutes. These used to be 40-minute cutoffs, is what I tried to shoot for. I don't know if I can see it. I'm a little bit closer to the computer this time. Maybe I can like actually like see what do we got going here. 37 minutes. That's pretty close. And this one, I'm feeling hella lazy. I'm probably not even going to throw in like a subscribe overlay or do any kind of editing on it. Just gonna raw upload it to my side channel. And I don't even know what to title this. Something to do with change, probably, but change can be good and bad, is what I'm figuring out. And just kind of playing life by ear. Maybe I'll have some woo way and something will just come out of the blue and be like a epiphany, you know. Maybe not, but yeah. This is the new Rendy with the dragon tattoo on his chest and hair. But I'll be back. I don't know what's going to be the next video on the main channel still. It was going to be Dragon Wilds content. I was even thinking about Oblivion content. But didn't have that fun playing that either. I just feel like nothing feels that great right now. I guess that's what depression does, but I don't know. We'll get through it. It'll be fine. And I have a lot to be fortunate for. I feel like everybody does, in a way, in one way or another, right? So close enough to 40 minutes. All right. Thanks y'all for watching. Thank you all for watching. Thanks y'all for watching. I don't know what I was trying to say there, but yeah, still get stumbled over my words. No matter how much communication I do with 100 women online, it doesn't seem to fix that. Or no matter how many times I make videos like this, but yeah. Back in the Tulsa area. Hopefully can reconnect with some more old friends. I don't know. Done a little bit of that already. But yeah. Gonna end the video now. It was nice talking to myself, to you all. I won't read comments again, probably. Per usual. But this is just something I figured I would do because it's better than sleeping for 26 hours. See you all soon.